You're not in the oil business, you're in the oil shortage business.
We had Marlon Brando channeling Dick Cheney in advance. I didn't realize Dick Cheney was invented by Marlon Brando until I saw that film. Big Oil and The American Dream, and a film that ends with maybe a Machiavellian perspective winning out, and then we have the righteous winning out in Karate Kid. Can you talk a little bit about the difference between those two and how you feel about that as
the magic of the movies? The movies. I mean, that's why it's so much fun to sit in the dark when it's happening. Again, I don't plan these things. I just happen to be lucky to be around, and the script happens, and all these things that you can't predict happen, and I, get lucky. But it's not part of the grand scheme or anything.
And I'd like to talk to you a little bit about directing in this case, because we have the one scene with two famously, amazingly monstrous actors as personalities, and how you kept that.
One was a monster.
Feel free to divulge.
What another one of my mistakes. The writer, Steve Shagan, the guy who wrote Save the Tiger, wanted Gene Hackman. And I said, no, we need George Scott. The studio didn't want to do it with him, though, by himself, because he hadn't been selling that many tickets. So they said, find somebody else you can team up. So I'm thinking, who can tell George Scott to take a hike? And Brando was the only guy I could think of. Go up on Mulholland, and there's a sign outside that says, don't even think about smoking. And, and all these beautiful Asian ladies all over the place bringing you tea, and Marlon says, well, I see this guy sort of living out in the desert. He's in bare feet, big straw hat, dish, and he's out there. And I said, well, yeah, you could do that. I imagine him looking like Arm & Hammer on the cover of Time magazine with the three-piece suit. And he looked at me and he said, I'm just testing you. So and he was delightful. He was and half his bedroom was bongo drums, and the other half was ham radios. He was a big ham radio fan because he could talk to people around the world and nobody would know who he was, and he could be himself.
So he invented the internet too, man.
Well, this was before that. It was ham radio. And he was a very, very sweet guy. Just, it was always, how's George this morning? What a workout.
We're really relieved, because in our film program, Marlon Brando's one of our favorite actors. I'm glad he wasn't the monster in that story.
No. He was...
But there's a lot of stories about him wanting to ad-lib a lot, and you're talking about coming to the set with precision. Did he do that ad-libbing thing?
Yes, I had that. I said, look, I hear all these stories about you wanting to change things. Why don't we change everything now? And then when it comes time to shoot it, we'll have it all worked out. He said, great. So I spent many happy hours. Should it be this? What about this? And finally, we're happy. So I get out there at this oil field, and said, Mr. Brando wants to see you in his trailer. I said, okay. And I walk in, and he looks and says, I can't say this shit. I said, okay, let's find some shit you can say. And we spent the morning and got it worked out, and it all went fine.
I know how to do it. I know how to do it. She's fine.
Mire. Muchos clorino. Es casi muerto, este animal.
Speak English. I understand English.
The frog is half dead. He's half dead from the chlorine.
The chlorine is normal. The pH factor is 7.4. That's a perfect balance.
I don't care what the pH factor is. I don't want you to put any chlorine in the pool. It's shit.
I've been doing this for 17 years. I don't know what the hell I'm doing.
Listen, the frog is half dead. That's all you have to know. Don't put any chlorine in there.
Look, he's all right.
Well, I hope he's got Blue Cross.